Hello everybody, Foxy Games here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV full story playthrough. Now I wager, many of you think I may have forgotten. Many of you think I may have passed over this particular set of quests. But you'd be wrong. For today, my friends, we are going to begin the Hildibrand quests. But who is Hildibrand? Well, that requires a little bit of backstory. Hildibrand Manderville was born to a life of Ul'dahn luxury, his father being the famous Godbert Manderville, acclaimed goldsmith and proprietor of the Gold Saucer. Despite the wealth that had fallen into his lap by virtue of his family name, Hildibrand had no interest in following in his father's footsteps, instead heading out into Eorzea and proclaiming himself an agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. Always at his side was his Mikote sidekick, the explosive Nashu Makaraka. Hildibrand set about traveling Eorzea, attempting to solve problems wherever he went, usually with the help of the Warrior of Light of the Sixth Astral Era, that is to say, prior to the fall of Dalamud and the calamity which shaped the Eorzea we're familiar with today. To say Hildibrand solved problems is putting it generously. He was generally a buffoon and wound up causing more issues than he set out to remedy, and the Warrior of Light often had to both clean up the bumbling inspector's mess and solve the presented mystery. Hildibrand, being the confident mess that he was, always mistook his infamy for fame and continued on his path until one fateful day. At some point in his misadventures, Hildibrand came to learn of the prophecy of our very own Urianger about the hero who would save the realm from Dalamud, and determined that the hero was none other than himself. The self-proclaimed savior was helping a farmer fertilize his field using bomb ash one day, and Nashu happened upon the gun lance of the late Nail Van Darnus. Thinking it no longer functional, Hildibrand activated the weapon, the resulting bomb ash explosion launching him into the sky toward Dalamud. This should have been the end of the story of Hildibrand, but as with all things in the realm of Eorzea, truth is often stranger than fiction, and there is yet more to tell. And so, while the Grand Companies make their move into Ala Mhigo to try and get a foothold on Ala Mhigan soil, Foxy is given bid to rest. And while she is taking a rest in her chosen home of Ul'dah, a familiar voice beckons to her. You all remember Wymond, right? From the very beginning of our journey? The man with the creepy sunglasses who is said to know a great many things. Well, he happens to have heard a rumor regarding Hildibrand. And that's what we've come to find out today. An old acquaintance of Wymond is at wit's end, and the businessman would have you help her. I hear you've been busy as a bee, Foxy. Seems half the whispers what come my way relate to your comings and goings. Being the active type you are, I reckon you'd be interested in investigating some queer rumors, am I right? But before that, let me ask, ever heard of a man named Hildibrand? Well, we the player have. Foxy, however, has not. To hear him tell it, he was Eorzea's greatest and most famous inspector. Still can't say I'm surprised you don't know him. To his credit, Hildibrand and his assistant had a knack for showing up when something shady was afoot. As for sussing out the culprits, well, he had his moments, though I hesitate to give him sole credit. Any road, 5 years ago, he gets in his head that he's cracked the code of Messiah's 7th verse. Dalamud, the calamity, all of it can be stopped, he says, so long as he finds the hero of prophecy. And wouldn't you know it, the hero was Hildibrand himself. So he flies off towards Dalamud. Yeah, aye, that's right, he flew. Launches himself straight into the air somehow, ridiculous as it sounds. Of course, it's only logical that he's got to come back down, though it was only recently that we found his body. I had a reason for bringing this up. Ah, right. So, Nashu, Hildibrand's erstwhile assistant, has since become an inspector in her own right. At present, she's investigating the queer rumors I mentioned earlier. She's a sweet lass, a bit daft, but sweet nonetheless. So when I hear she's at wit's end, I want to help. Thing is, I prefer to meddle in the affairs of the living. Zombies are most definitely not my forte. So if you're willing, I'd be grateful if you lent her a hand. As for where to find her, She's like to visit Hildibrand's grave in the Lich Yard when she's frustrated. Try looking for her there first. So as it turns out, Hildibrand is no longer of this world. A sad thing, even if he was a bit bumbling. But his assistant Nashu lives on. And we need to go and see what's wrong. Also, I totally told you guys that I'd do something with the Scion Adventurer outfit, and I have. I think it's quite nice. I struggled like crazy to find a hat that was appropriate, but I think this one works out quite well. I find this outfit particularly adorable, and if you don't, well, it's okay to be wrong. Here we are. The adorable, if dim-witted, Nashu Makaraka. Oh, if only you were still alive, Inspector. You'd know how to stop these zombies. Ah, you there. Could it be? You've come to offer your services to me? Ah, but where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. Ahem. My name is Nashu, Agent of Inquiries, Extraordinary Inspector. At least that's what I'm trying to be. It's not quite as easy as he made it look. Inspector Hildibrand was a great man, a real Eorzean hero. We traveled the world, me and him, solving cases and thwarting evil. No matter the mystery, you could always count on the Inspector to solve it with grace and style. But then there was the final case. The case of the century, he called it. How to stop the Red Moon from destroying the world. To save us all, he flew into the sky, and all I could do was watch. But then he came back down, and he... Ah, but say no more. The echo will reveal all to us. This is all a joke. A big funny joke. Right, Inspector? Any moment now, you'll burst out of the ground and shout, "Surprise, had you fooled, eh?" And we'll laugh and laugh. They say no one remembers the Warriors of Light. Their names, their faces, all gone forever. But I remember you, Inspector. No, Gentleman Hero Hildibrand. I can never be the hero you were, but I'll do my best to try. I, Nashu, Inspector Extraordinaire, will carry on your legacy. So I told myself, well, Nashu, there must be a leader, a head zombie who tells the rest what to do. Therefore, all we need to do is kill him. Again, that is. Unfortunately, I don't know where he is or how to find him. But now that you're here, my faithful assistant, you can try the one good idea I've come up with so far. If you go to where those dapper zombies were last seen in southern Thanalan, you might find them. And then you could, you could become their friend and ask how to meet their leader. Yes, that's sure to work. Dim-witted indeed. Whoever thought you could talk to zombies? Well, we have to participate in a fate in southern Thanalan. Hopefully it's there. I don't know if it's always there, so I'm hoping it's actually there. Check out these dapper-looking zombies. Aren't they just awful? Well, let's go ahead and... Am I out of Gishel Greens? Oh dear. Well, I guess I can't summon my Chocobo. That's okay, we'll do this without him. It would seem these zombies want to be gentlemen. Not unlike Hildibrand himself, for some reason. Oh look, the Amaljo want to play too. He's not part of the fate, he just happens to be here. Okay, fine. If you all want to die. I wager Foxy needs to stretch her legs anyway. She has been resting all this time, after all. And yeah, I couldn't really find a better sword and shield for this glamour. So we're gonna do the House Fortom shield and that big old warp-looking blade that I got from the Ishgard. Only a couple more zombies left to go. I feel so cultured. I feel so refined. You're about to feel nothing at all. Well, we didn't become their friend, but we did find a curious parchment. Let's go and bring it to Nashu and see what she makes of it. Did you find the zombies? You did! That's wonderful. I've been busy too. The head zombie will rue the day he meets me, you'll see. So tell me, what did you learn? Well, we got this parchment. It's written in a flamboyant, flowing hand, and the words say, a gentleman is rather than does. Interesting. Oh, so you weren't able to make new friends. That's a shame. But this parchment, this is a map of the Sigoli Desert. There's a spot written here in the marked here on the south, and look, there's something written here. A gentleman is rather than does. That sort of reminds me of, well, no matter. Let's see where this map takes us, assistant. Onward to the Sigoli. I mean, I was just there, but sure. Check out this Dragoon. His armor looks awesome. Oh, it's a lady. Her armor looks awesome. Very nice. I don't think I misread the map. Maybe they're just shy, though. I say we call out to them and let them know we come in peace. And when the leader shows himself, we strike. Let's see. Wild Rose, gentleman, or just call them out. Let's say a gentleman is rather than does, to keep with the theme of these quests. Who summons the gentle dead men? Uh-oh. They live, and we hunger. My brothers, lend me your ears. A gentleman does not dine upon his guests. Spare these two fair ladies your mastications. Withdraw, I say, and harass them no more. Up in the sky, look! It's a bird. No, it's an airship. No, it's the inspector. We hear and we obey. It is you, it really is you. I knew nothing could kill the great Inspector Hildibrand. Hildibrand? Who is this Hildibrand of whom you speak? My name is Zombiebrand, Devourer of Brains, Undead Overlord Extraordinaire. What are you saying? You're not an undead overlord, you're a gentleman inspector. Inspector, overlord, inspector, overlord. Oh, Inspector, you're just confused is all. Don't worry, I'll knock some sense back into that noggin of yours. Stay your hand, milady. You know not what you do. Oh no. Even if I were the esteemed gentleman you purport me to be, the concussive force of that blast is more likely to liquefy my... If crashing into the ground made you forget, then an explosion of equal force ought to make you remember. I'll save you, Inspector, or kill you trying. See? Even you acknowledge the possibility that this plan will result in my... death. Normally, I would applaud your ingenuity, Nashu, but I would have preferred that you found a more elegant solution. Ah, he remembers me! Inspector Hildibrand remembers me! Yes, yes, I remember you, my faithful assistant. What I do not quite remember is how I came to be here. Ah, but we're gonna find out. Such a wonderful dream. I slew a dragon and... What is this place? And for that matter, who am I? I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have awoken at last. I always knew you'd come back to us. Be it Red Moon or Black Dragon, no fiend is a match for my legendary might. And who might this fine lady be? Could she perhaps be one of my many Oh, but what is this faint tingling sensation in my arm? This ringing in my ears, this dizziness? Could it be a case? Oh dear. So, yeah, basically, Hildibrand fell back to Eorzea, and when he did, everyone thought he was dead, so they buried him. And when he got back up, the zombies all thought he was one of them, and not having his memories, he thought the same. I told you these quests were silly. Amazing, isn't it? He wasn't dead, he was just badly injured and needed to hibernate. I didn't even know people could do that. Most people can't. Verily, it could be naught else. Somewhere nearby, dastardly doings are afoot, and only I can thwart them. Copious quantities of sand, unbearable heat. Aha! The Sagoli Desert. I'd bet my life on it. Which means Ul'dah is but a short trek away. Yes, it all fits. Only that den of iniquity could so violently trigger my keen investigator's sense. Fear not, law-abiding citizens. Inspector Hildibrand shall soon deliver you from evil. Which way did he go, Foxy? Did you see? Oh dear, I've got to find him. And change my outfit, too. Why do you need to... Whatever. Well, let's go back to Ul'dah and see if we could find him. I mean, he's only just woken up. He probably has a concussion. You know, considering the bombs. Excuse me, good lady. I beg your pardon, you wish to question me as to the whereabouts of that deviant running about town dressed in rags? Do I look like a reporter for the Mithril Eye? I do not consort with perverts. I mean, look at the way half the adventurers dress. Like, look at this Mikote. We all dress like sluts, okay? Hildibrand just fits in. Excuse me, sir. What? You're looking for a half-naked Highlander what likes to catch criminals? I think I'd remember a thing like that. If you do manage to find this inspector friend of yours, tell him to do something about that goddamn duelist. Your mate's pa's cousin's kid's best friend lost his blade the other day to that bastard. Right, a likely story. Okay, so that's a bust. Let's check at the Adventurers Guild in the Quicksand. How about you? Have you seen Hildibrand? Sorry, lass, but if it's information you want, you'd best be served by going to Wymond. The only rumors I've heard about are those about that weapon thief. Calls himself a duelist or so I hear, but when you don't allow your opponents to refuse, well... Yeah, that's more like a violent criminal than a duelist. Well, let's go talk to Wymond. I wonder what he'll want in return. Hello, Wymond. I take it you've dealt with the zombie problem, eh? So do tell, just why were they dressing up like dandies? Wymond! Hey, Wymond! That almighty bugger me with a bleeding spear. The dead have risen and they're walking the streets of Ul'dah. No need for melodrama, my good man. As you can see, reports of my death were greatly exaggerated. It's true, he's not a zombie. I checked. Aye, you do seem to be hale and healthy, which begs the question, how in the seven hells did you survive that fall? Why, question divine providence. What matters is that Eorzea's champion has returned, and that he, and by that I mean I, shall bring this thieving duelist to justice. Heard about that, did you? Might be harder than you think. Even I've got no inkling on that fellow's current whereabouts. Inconceivable! I refuse to believe that the ever-inquisitive, ever-ambitious, ever-reliable Wymond is without a single shred of information, even one of dubious relevance. Well, I make no promises, mind you, but there was some talk of a fair maiden, what said her most. This knave assaulted a young woman as well? The audacity! I should fly to her side at... Why, if this isn't the lady from the Segoli? A serendipitous encounter indeed, unless you too seek the belligerent duelist. Capital! It would be invigorating to engage in a friendly battle of wits. Already the spirit of competition fills me. Come, Nashu, we must away. But he didn't even tell you where this lady is. Damn it, Hildy. I ain't told you the lass's name yet. Oh, it looks like we've been roped in. I mean, we'd better do something about it. He sure isn't going to. I mean, he'll try, but... Well, Foxy, you might as well go after him. He'll be disappointed if you don't. The lady in question is named Yellow Moon. She's a woman with a taste for the finer things in life. Safe to say you'll find her getting fitted for something in the Weavers Guild most every day. Good luck with the Inspector. Oh, jeez. Ah, well, that settles it then. Off to the Weavers Guild we go. I will say it has been over a year since I've done these quests, so I don't remember most of the things about them, which is very refreshing. I get to laugh all over again at this stuff. Hello, Yellow Moon. A Rogadin, of course, with a name like that. My beloved Pure Heart was unlike any wand you've ever seen. Elegant, refined, the perfect accessory for any cultured woman. You will bring it back to me, won't you? A priceless possession, callously ripped from the hands of its owner? The lady weeps, and the wind bears her sorrow to his ears. What gentleman could hear this clarion call, and not beg the honor of championing her cause? What in the world? I swear to you here and now, I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, shall scour all creation, from the deepest pits of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, for your Pure Heart. What he said. And you, my fellow servant of justice, I see your instincts are not to be underestimated, having guided you to this fair maiden's side. Now then, Miss Moon, what can you tell us of the theft? Thefts, sir, to be precise. My Pure Heart was only the most recent item to be taken from me. I'm certain I had it when I left home the other day, and I browsed the latest fashions at Sunsilk and took in a match at the Colosseum. I realized it was gone. So the time and location of the theft are unknown, essential details without which we cannot solve the case. But there is but one logical course of action, Miss Moon. To coax the hidden clues from your memories, we must reenact that fateful day's excursion to Sunsilk Tapestries. Oh boy. What monster would steal my Pure Heart? It's just a wand, lady. Alright. Oh, here they are. Nashu's falling asleep. Oh no. Look at her, she's dozing off. Oh, she's adorable. Alright. Oh, I don't know. Are you sure this is going to help? I clicked through that a little quick there, but... Miss Moon, would you be so kind as to describe your visit in detail on the day in question? Nothing unusual happened, but if you insist, I was pondering whether or not to purchase a new dress when a man approached me and confessed his undying love. What sort of man says that to a complete stranger, I ask you? Naturally, I was taken aback. I dropped my purse, in shock, not intentionally, on his foot, and he cried out in pain and fled. If I may be so bold, Miss Moon, that strikes me as the most unusual happening. In any case, it appears to be completely unrelated to the theft. Let us next proceed to the Colosseum and see what you remember. My phone is ringing. God damn it. Who the fuck is bothering me? To the Colosseum we go. This is quickly becoming, Game of tag. That crate's looking at me funny. Is it? Well, it's sure not saying anything. Where could my pure heart be? Once again, Miss Moon, if you would be so kind as to tell us what you remember. Well, like before, nothing unusual happened. I felt like gambling that day and was debating what match to observe, when a gladiator approached me from behind and confessed his undying love. Again. Naturally, I was taken aback. I whirled about and struck the man in the face with my purse, in shock, not intentionally. Unfortunately, since I was carrying a tremendous sum of money, my purse weighed about 60 ponzas, and the blow was enough to render him unconscious. 120 ponzas! Miss Moon, you are a remarkably strong woman. Well, she is a Rogadan. Which is precisely why you were targeted. Ah, it's so obvious in hindsight. This thief bore you a grudge. No, it's more than that. He hated you with a passion. There sure are a lot of giant crates in Ul'dah. At the Weaver's Guild, at Sunsilk Tapestries, and here too. And now they're gone for some reason. Oh, never mind. Stand back. I am on the verge of unraveling this mystery. I must be allowed to focus. Well, if nothing else, that is the pose of a man truly in focus. If nothing else. These crates are everywhere, Foxy. I wonder what's inside. But I don't see how we can open... Ah, of course! I still have plenty of explosives. Here, why don't you try? It'll be fun. I mean, alright. But only if you take the blame. Nashu's Delight. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Oh, gods have mercy. Wow, there were people in there. I guess that explains the breathing, and... Isn't that Yellow Moon's pure heart? Inspector! Oh, Inspector, look! At the heart of every crime rests a single unassailable truth, reached only by navigating a web of falsehoods and contradictions. Hearken to me now, for as a shepherd leads his flock, I shall guide you to my irrefutable conclusion. A gladiator professes his feelings only to be rejected and physically assaulted in response, wounding his pride as a warrior and a man. Resenting her prowess while recognizing his weakness, he carries out a more feasible vengeance. He robs Yellow Moon of her weapon, the pure heart. Inspector, we found the pure heart. These strange men sneaking around town in wooded crates had it. It's not what you think. We're not thieves, we're devotees. Yellow Moon is our sun and stars. We only wish to keep her safe from harm, and should she misplace an item from time to time, we'd collect it. For safekeeping, nothing untoward. You deviants were behind all the thefts. All this time you've been stalking me. What nerve? Ah, such unbridled fury, such righteous indignation. We should be glad to accept the goddess's punishment. So they're simps. Goddess? Devotees? Ah, but of course. That I had you inspect those crates was a stroke of genius indeed. As I was elucidating but a moment ago, those fiends are obviously the ones responsible for the recent rash of weapon thefts, as... Those thefts were carried out by a single individual, you imbecile. Lest you've forgotten, the culprit is a duelist. He only claims his victims' weapons after defeating them in single combat. If your powers of observation are as great as you claim, you should have deduced that those buffoons in boxes were incapable of such. I should know. I'm a reporter for the Mithril Eye. My name is Ellie, and I've been investigating these incidents for weeks. Inspector Hildibrand, gentleman investigator, and agent of inquiry, I presume? You're looking well for a dead man. Would you like to meet one of the duelist's victims? I'll introduce you with pleasure. You would be willing to share such precious information with me? Your generosity is commendable, Miss Ellie. May this mark the beginning of a long and beautiful friendship. Yes, yes, very good. The name of the man is... Huh? Where in the bloody hells do you think you're going? I haven't told you anything yet. He does that. I guess it's up to us. I suppose since you're the imbecile's friend, you intend to help him. That's stretching a little bit, but sure. The man you want to find is an adventurer named Humphrey. At present, he can be found at the Golden Bazaar. With luck, the good inspector may find his way there by the time you arrive. If not, then so be it. I wonder what will happen when he discovers that the victim is a perpetrator as well. Oh? Interesting. The web of intrigue is ever more complex. I am Humphrey, and you are? Oh, they found us. At last I've caught up with you. You there, young sir. I am told you are a victim of the marauding duelist. Me? A victim? How amusing. You amuse me. True, I was challenged by the duelist not long ago, but where he thought to find a whelp. He found a warrior of light instead. I defended my honor and my blade. See for yourself. You mean you won? That's amazing. Well, it was nothing compared to what I faced at Cartano. Magitech to the right of us, Magitech to the left of us. Stuck in the middle with Master Lu, we were. Core, he was a dab hand with the old magic, he was. I tried to save him, of course, but there's a limit to how many giant beasties a man can... That man is no warrior of light. Tell him, Elizar. Tell him how he lost and surrendered a sword that was not his own. Liar, scoundrel! I trusted that bastard with me father's blade, bid him take it to a smithy for restoration, even gave him gil to pay for it. Then he comes crawling back and sniveling and begging forgiveness for losing it in a duel, as if that's enough to set things right. Look at me, you bleeding old son, look at me! Me flowing golden locks are no more. I've gone bald from the stress and heartbreak. I swear to everything holy that you'll face a reckoning if you don't get her back to me. What a loser. Alright, he beat the shit out of me and took the old man's sword. I used the gil to pay the chirurgeon. I have no idea where he or the sword is. What am I supposed to do, huh? I can't give him what I don't have. Unless you help me find the sword. That's what you do, right? Help people? Have you no shame? First you claim a legacy not your own, then you beg others to help you with the problems of your own making. You will refuse this man, won't you, Inspector? And what of Elizar's golden flowing locks? How will forsaking young Humphrey help the man he has wronged? We shall begin our search for the sword by questioning the people of the Golden Bazaar. Oh boy. Well, that wasn't quite the answer we were expecting. Do all inspectors dress like that? I never met one before, so I don't know what to expect. Oh, I guess they do. That blade was a rare and ancient relic. He can't possibly think he'll recover it so easily. Well, let's see what the people at the Golden Bazaar have to say about that. What a name. Abe. Abe. Ib. Jesus. Antique swords? Oh, I haven't the foggiest about that. That traveling merchant Jajampa is the one you ought to speak with, assuming he hasn't left. Alright. We could not speak with Nashu. Let's talk to Hildibrand. Yet what drives this man to always claim his opponent's weapon? Pride? No, it must be deeper than that. Maybe he's just greedy. Elazar's sword? Wasn't much to look at, but at least it was authentic. More than a few collectors have been tricked into purchasing counterfeit relics. You sense the presence of a powerful mark? What? Oh, there must be a hunt thing, a hunt target. That boy should be ashamed of himself, robbing poor Elazar of a priceless family heirloom. Just goes to show you should never trust an adventurer who claims to be a warrior of light. Thieves and tricksters, the lot of them. It may not be the most honorable solution, but mayhap you should consider giving Elazar a counterfeit blade. If the deception brings him peace in his final days, would it be so wrong? That is such a Lalafell answer. Oh well, let's find this Jojumpa and see if he can help us. Looks like he's about to head out. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of an ancient sword, at least not of one I can guarantee to be authentic. You see, any wares I determine to be of dubious origins, I immediately discard in the spring east of Camp Drybone. Although I have no swords for sale at present, I may have disposed of a facsimile similar in design to the one you describe. This presents a quandary. Though I am loath to deceive an honorable man like Elazar, a well-intentioned ruse may put his heart at ease, thus spurring the rejuvenation of his flowing golden locks, while we continue to search for the genuine article. Well, if there is a sword in that spring, it won't remain there for long. It's one of the more convenient sources of fresh water for the common folk in Camp Drybone. Tisk tisk. You should endeavor to be more optimistic, Miss Ellie, like me. I say we search the spring first before declaring all to be lost. Off to the spring, then. I don't feel so good about lying to the guy either, but, well... Here's the spring. Oh, rooting around in the muck. In outfits like those, well, I mean, I can say no better. Look at me. It occurs to me that I am not yet fully recovered from my accumulated injuries. It would not be prudent to immerse my body in water. Not without first coating it with a liberal application of salamander oil, that is. Indeed, on many an occasion, my dearest mother tended my childhood scrapes just so. You understand the importance of physical rehabilitation, yes? Then you can assist me by pouring the oil all over my body. Do I have to? Damn it. Ah, this comforting scent. As though I am a child in her arms. Quickly now, before it dries, knead the oil into my aching flesh. How about you do it yourself? Jesus. The pain multiplies manifold. Gently now, gently. This is punishment for making me do this. Oh gods, oh gods, oh gods. Yes, at last. My muscles slacken and soften, the warmth spreads, and the pain becomes pleasure. Oh, jeez. Why? Right there, yes. Keep doing that, just like that, just like... Oh, yes. Now once more, with feeling. Somebody really likes Hildibrand's body and fucking fates when they made this quest. Ah, never before have I received such splendid ministrations. Now then, into the spring, you as well, my good woman. After making me endure that, probably should be okay with me not going through the mud. I spy with my inspector's eye. Absolutely nothing, apparently. What's this? Nothing. How about this holy pot? Maybe it's in here. Nope. How about this bottle? for some reason. Nope. Well, Hildibrand, we've found exactly nothing. You've been productive. Excellent. May I see what you found? This is not the sword you're looking for. A completely useless and unremarkable rock. Come now, what were you expecting? A rock that keeps curls away? I mean, if you throw it hard enough. Well, at least you didn't pick up a rock at random like some people. I mean, I did. No sign of the sword Jajumpa mentioned, I see. Ah! Oh, Neshu. Now I'm all wet. What was that, anyway? Did something cause you to... She tripped over it. Once again, my instincts have guided us to our quarry. That I had you search in that section of the spring was a stroke of Inspector, it's bad for your health to conduct investigations in those clothes. I'll go to Ul'dah and fetch you some new ones. How thoughtful of you, Neshu. While you're there, purchase a few bottles of hair tonic for Elizar as well. The newest, most potent blend you can find. Is it not wonderful, my friend? Soon all of Elizar's woes will be no more. I still don't feel so good about giving him a fake sword, but... oh, whatever. Ah, he's in here. Very good. God, Hildibrand. And this worthless lout. As promised, I return to you your father's ancient blade. Ah, it is her! Every chip and scratch is just as I remember. Gods bless you, sir. I never expected you'd go to such lengths for two strangers at the thought of reward. Altruism is a rare trait these days. 'Tis common enough if you know where to look. A gentleman recognizes the good in every soul and understands that none deserve to be forsaken. Spoken like a true gentleman, though your garments beg to differ. Inspector, I brought your change of clothing. I also brought a supply of tonic from this peddler. I met in Pearl Lane. Excellent work, Neshu. Now if you'd just bring me that case... Inspector Hildibrand? There appears to be something lodged in my forehead. Could it be a missive from an adoring admirer? Well, he is rather thick-headed. The author neglected to pen her name. I shall come to claim the collector's blade. Is that supposed to be flattering? No, it's supposed to be intimidating. The duelist wrote this. He's daring you to stop him. A challenge? For me? Ho, at last the curtain rises. Very well. If I am to duel the duelist, I must dress for the occasion. Well, at least you're all covered up. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, accept your challenge. He's incredible. So bold, so majestic. Just like a warrior of light. No, a gentleman of light. He is exceptionally something. Cool, Inspector Hildibrand, you look amazing. And his hair is back. Hildibrand. This is far from the strongest of swords. Blue, blue skies in the rolling desert. How much longer must I seek the blade of legend? Challenge accepted, my worthy opponent. You shall not claim the blade. With my, let us call it what it is, genius, I shall bring you to justice. Wait, you wish to duel with weapons, not wits? This bridge hardly seems appropriate for such an epic battle. Hey, I know that spear. That's the one I found buried with the pumpkins. Pumpkins sort of remind me of, no, it's gone. Never mind.